complex comprised a madrasa, Islamic Sharia school, a mosque, and a mausoleum. The madrasa of the complex of Sultan Barquq is unique because unlike that of Sultan Hassan's, it also includes a khanqa for Sufis. This was a relatively large foundation which housed as many as 125 theology students and 60 Sufis with living headquarters for teachers and stables for their horses. Wow, this is a very beautiful open court. Would you tell me please more about it and its construction?
Well, the complex of Barquq is a typical Mamluk complex. An open courtyard, 4 iwans, gateway to the schools, the largest iwan dedicated to Qibla, which the direction to Mecca, where the main prayer takes place. So we are more or less in a typical perfect Islamic architectural unit, which the courtyard, the fountain of ablution, the 4 iwans, and the doorways to the school. If we look to the elements that we're talking about, we can see that the architect, Shahab al-Din ibn Tuloni, kept the standard elements of Islamic architecture, the arches, the 4 wings, the cruciform, and the open courtyard, which all inspired from the very beginning of Islamic time. The core value or the core element in Islamic architecture is the first mosque. The first mosque in Islamic history is the Mosque of Muhammad in Medina, which was next to his door, to his house. This mosque started with a little open courtyard and 4 corners, and that's where it comes from. And that's why all these great mosques we're dealing with, it all comes from that point. The fountain used to be a lot more better than this, but again, it's been restored many times, especially during the 15th century Mamluk restoration during the times of Sultan Jakmak. Jakmak came almost 100 years after Barquq, and he made significant work of restoration in this complex. The member, the ceiling, the fountain of purification, a number of buildings beyond the doors, it's all restored during the times of Jakmak.
I'd like to ask about the ceiling. Is it a common feature in the Mamluk architecture to see such a beautifully gilded ceiling in such a way?
The beautiful ceiling not only reflects art, but it reflects great economy. In the times of Barquq, during the construction of this building, 1384, 1386, it was the high days of Egypt economy under the Mamluks. This is the time when the Mughals were fighting the Ottomans. The trade on the Silk Road had to leave the dangerous areas and the war zones and come to the Mamluk Sultanate in Syria and Egypt. Barquq found himself sitting on treasures and almost controlling the ancient world trade. And all the caravan comes to Egypt. And that's why there is a lot of resources and there is a lot of money from trade to be able to support the great constructions. He hired the most famous general constructor in his time, someone called Jaharkis al-Khalili, which the nearby market named after him, Khan al-Khalili. Jaharkis al-Khalili was a general constructor, and he was the man responsible of providing the workers and the stones and the cutting of the stones and the marbles. But the genius architect who actually put the design, he managed to make a perfect complex in a small piece of land. So most of the constructions used to be here, not what we see. Most of the constructions on the 2nd floor, on the 3rd floor, beyond the doors, where we have little open courtyard, little fountains, and rooms for meditations, rooms for prayers, rooms for classes. Also, we do have rooms for the teachers. We have rooms for the great imams that used to live here in this area.
I'd like to ask you about the columns because they seem out of place. The material of them doesn't seem or look like the rest of the other columns. Like here they are marble, but there I think it might be granite. Is it granite?
This is granite, and this is recycled materials. During the Mamluk period, general constructors like Jaharkis al-Khalili used to hire people to go to the ancient monuments of ancient Egypt, like the pyramids, Abu Sir, Saqqara, where they get large blocks of granite to reinforce the foundation and also to support the ceiling. This great area where we are, we call it Iwan el-Qibla, which is the largest Iwan. This is the largest of the 4 Iwans, where we have almost 3 wings. We have small wing to the right, supported with the 2 granite pillars, most probably recycled from ancient monuments out in the desert of Giza. And on the other side, we do have the same kind of small wing. And then the arches support the ceiling, and the 2 pillars carry the whole thing. Then the central element here is the Qibla, which is the sanctuary to pray. This faces southeast, which Mecca, and supported with 4 pillars, and you can see the inlaid marble work and the inlaid mother of a pearl and the little indentations inlaid with exotic, colorful marble and porphyry and other materials. You can see the beautiful calligraphy all carved on the marble. This is all from the Quran around the central unit. So this is the central unit, like a carpet of marble on a mother of a pearl, inlaid with colored glass as well, like the blue.
This seems like faience. Is that faience?
Yes, faience and marble and mother of a pearl. And it's just a decorative element in the middle. And on top, we do have this marble colored, almost like a sun shining through this. In most Mamluk mosques, you have the word Allah in the middle, but this one doesn't have it. We believe this was partially restored by Jacquemart in the middle of the 1500 AD, which one of the later sultans came after. minbar, or the place for the preaching.
Yeah.
This is not the original one. This is restored and reintroduced by Jacques in 1500. So this is not the original minbar of Barkouk. This is the minbar of Sultan Jacques in the 1500 AD.
Well, for this part, I think we covered most of it, but I think that there is also the mausoleum, or the burial place of the family. Can you show us the mausoleum area, please?
Yes, the mausoleum in Mamluk complex is normally attached to the main building, sometimes to the north, sometimes to the east. In the case of where we are, the mausoleum is a small room attached to the Iwan of Qibla to the northern side, so it should be on our right side.
Today we've toured together the unique complex of the Sultan Barkouk, and we've seen together a very unique Egyptian treasure. It's one of many treasures which we'll cover together in our episode. And next week we will be seeing another place, another story.